Good evening and welcome to tonight. We're going to do the May psychic forecast tonight. So whether you're live or as a video, welcome. And what we're going to cover tonight is some astrology, numerology, what it is that we need to know, what the master teachers or the guides that I work with are telling us about this month. Some channel predictions, or maybe a forecast might be a better word, some recommended spiritual exercises. I also have divination cards, and also I want to maybe remind you guys or tell you if you if you don't know that tomorrow night at 7 we're going to do live mediumship readings here on the channel. So of course it's free, and we usually get anywhere from 50 to 90 people on at a time, so I get as many messages out as I can in an hour. But that'll be to celebrate Beltane and May Day. So I'm going to just say a few quick hellos for anybody that's watching this as a video. Give the live people a minute or two to get their notification to get on. And we're going to do this, and we're going to not waste a lot of time tonight. We're going to get in, we're going to get out. I'm working on it. So who's here? Hi, Chris and Lisa. Good evening. Hi, Jody. Hi, Carissa and Catherine and Michael. Welcome. Welcome, Peggy and MT and Angela and Suzette and Doreen of the Children's School of Yoga, and Susan. Hi, Jessica. Hi, LD De La Rosa. Howdy. Hi, Yvonne. And hi, Joe. And anybody else that's here at this time. If you're new and you want to say hi, hi, Wendy and Nicole and Freebird. So if you're new to the channel, you want to say hi and where you're from and introduce yourselves to the community. Awesome. Awesomeness. So I have everything in my notes as usual. That's why I have the glasses on. They're reading glasses, so it's like I can see. And I'll try to keep a little bit of awareness on the comment stream if any questions come up. Oh, thank you, Susan. I will post this because I tend to forget stuff like this. And I've almost it's this June it's going to be 3 years on YouTube. You think I'd remember this stuff by now? All right, it's about 7:04. We've been on for a couple of minutes. Excuse me, I've been talking all day. I've had a full day of readings, and I shot a video this morning that's going to come out the Thursday after this Thursday. So I've been a busy boy today. So what's going on? Numerology. May 2023 comes out to a 12 in numerology, which reduces to 3. That's Jupiter ruled. So that's very good for expansion and growth. And what you guys want to do is, because Jupiter is going to be kind of accented this month because that's the numerology, see what Jupiter is doing in your astrological chart and how the aspects are affecting you. Because Jupiter will carry just a little bit of extra weight than usual just because of the numerology. Now, number 12 in the Chaldean system is the sacrifice, and key 12 in tarot is the hangman, and that tends to relate to a pause. One of the things is that there's something that we're going to need to sacrifice or give up. We need to be patient with the process. We need to be in our heart and in our power and very connected to source. That's all part of 12 numerology. And if we're able to do that, then what's going in out there has less effect on what's going on in here. And we want to keep in here sacred and sanctified. So that's always a challenge, in a world that's trying to bring us down, especially the spiritual people. Staying in our heart and staying in our power is a challenge. Now I'll explain why that the pressure to get off of our spiritual game is growing. I mean, I think you guys feel it, but it's growing. And hi, Earth Angel, woohoo to you too. So what else did I write down? Jupiter character rate. Oh, part of the energy that's expansion, leadership, and more under fire. Now, Pluto goes into retrograde on the 1st. So Pluto's station, it's at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So I'm not going to cover everything astrological, just the highlights. And 0 is the void. And so when you have a 0 energy going on, this is really about spirit before manifestation. But because it's Pluto energy, Pluto's very explosive. It's about regeneration, about transmutation, about evolution, and all that good stuff. So it's going to assist in our evolutionary process. This is going to assist in a very deep collective purge. So 0 degrees station of Pluto starting to go retrograde in June. It's going to go back into Capricorn for a little while until early 2024. Then Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for about 20 years or so. Uh, on the 5th of May, 5/5, Cinco de Mayo, that's a natural portal anyway. You add to that a full moon eclipse, and we got a really powerful portal energy coming up there. We're going to do a transmission with the master teachers. For those that don't know what that is, it's an energy channeling. So they work through me, and everybody that's joining me live and as a video taps into that energy, and they're able to affect your energy systems also. So a lot of it's going to be about purging. So I wrote down huge energy portal. It's a 14 degree Scorpio. So that's where the lunar eclipse is going to be. So it feeds the Pluto stationing energy. So that makes it even stronger, basically. Because Scorpio, what's the ruling planet of Scorpio? It's Pluto. So a lot of movement, a lot of change. Great, great for getting. God, I can't even read my own writing. Yeah. Well, I've seen like fires and floods, but it's a good energy actually for money and to really kind of maybe you put some of your ideas into action, and I'll talk more about that. But the main thing, eclipses are high energy. Eclipses happen when the full and the new moon are aligning with the lunar node. When that happens, then we have eclipse seasons, and when that happens, it's a lot of energy. And over the next several months, that energy plays out, and then September into October will be our next eclipse season after this one. So there's more. There's more. So there's the new moon. Oh, wait. I'm missing something. Venus goes into Cancer on May the 7th. So Venus is changing signs. That's a very emotional transit. And that could bring up any domestic type of issues or challenges or home type issues. But Venus is a lovely energy, and it feels very happy in a water sign. So this is a really nice transit. It's really good for relationships, for love. But as I'm talking, Spirit's saying this is the time to really work with the heart and really cultivate the love of self, because the more you can love yourself, the more you can love others, basically. Funny how that works, right? So that's happening on the 7th. And Mercury stations to go direct right on Mother's Day. So get your Mother's Day plans done early. Pack patience for mom on Mother's Day in case it rains or in case things have to be changed at the last minute. The stations are the most potent part of the Mercury retrograde. Now that Mercury's moving backwards, a lot of you, I think, are finding it's not quite as bad as it was a week or two ago when it was slowing down to go to its go into its station. So be very, I wrote down, be very flexible for mom. It's a 5 degrees Taurus. 5 is Mercury ruled numerology. It's very changeable, but because it's Mercury also, and it's 5, so it's very mercurial energy. This can get you guys out there if you have a business, or if you're going public with something. This is going to aid and abet that. So May's a good month to maybe start those types of processes in your work or business or life and stuff like that. I'm just saying, hey, Wild Style, welcome. And I just think, right, heart it indeed is number one. Yes, it is. We talk about that all the time around here, don't we? And Very good. So I think I've got all that stuff covered. The new moon is on May 19th. That's going to be 28 degrees Gemini. So that the new moons are good beginnings. 28 is reduces to 1. So that's new beginning. So some will be starting from scratch. So, this all this Pluto energy, all that's going on with May, it's really, really powerful stuff. It's a huge shifting energies. I'm going to get more into that in a second. So for some of us, there may be another one of those breakdown to breakthrough kind of moments where things need to fall apart. But all that happens to rebuild on stronger foundation. That's going to be happening in the world around us. It's been happening incrementally. It's getting a lot stronger. I mean, they're March and April, I kind of advertise as very intense months. As I started to look into May, I was like, this seems like it's even more intense, not necessarily in a bad way, but it still can be challenging. So stay in your heart. Your heart is your center. Hearts cannot be programmed, right? Only the subconscious mind can. Stay in your heart, stay in your power. And it's what I write here. Some will be starting from scratch. Great for movement and change and to do the work. And it's great energy to get more notice. That 5 energy, that Gemini energy, is great for the public and to get more notice. So for a lot of you, this is about, especially if you've been kind of teetering on going more public, maybe you guys have a YouTube channel or social media or have a business or want to do public speaking. May is an excellent month to start to get that going, especially after the Mercury station and when it goes direct. But even when Mercury is retrograde, that's the planning cycle, that's the going within cycle. So that's good. So here's the forecast part as I drink more water. Check in with your comments for a second. Okay, well, then definitely do that, Carissa, then. And what was she saying? Oh, well, thank you. I don't mean to toot my own horn here. Yeah, this is the one I meant of yours. I meant to go. I can. All right, I can feel my energy too. So we're all good on that. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I have a list of things here. One, you'll need to give something or someone up for their own growth. So there may be something in your life that you've been trying and it's just not working out, or somebody. It's just saying that in this energy, a lot of us are going to just need to step back and let something go, I want to say. And I'll just flash Roseanne for a second, because that's a nice comment too. And thank you again, Wild Style, for that. So you need to give something or someone up for growth. So that's number one. Number two is huge 5-5 portal, which is change, hierarchy, restructures. So this could affect the governments, likely to affect your life individually, but this could involve the beginning of sweeping changes in world government. It's not an easy process, but this is what we want. Those of us that are awakened or awakening, and of course there's all kinds of different types of awakening, different levels, different styles. I've had 3 awakenings in my lifetime that I'm aware of, and there's more to go. I'm not an enlightened master by any means yet. I'm one of you, and you're one of me. We're all growing together here in this beautiful process of life that we're in, as the earth crumbles beneath us, only to get rebuilt on a much stronger, more beautiful foundation. So huge 5-5 portal, which change hierarchy structures, government. Some will oppose Mercury and Uranus. So that's one of the aspects that's happening on this 5-5 full moon. That Uranus is about surprises and explosive change. Mercury, well, 5 is Mercury energy. So Mercury is very highlighted. Mercury is the trickster. Mercury is the communicator. Mercury is about movement and motion. Again, be willing to change plans. Mercury's retrograde also during this full moon. So expect surprises, fast transitions, bring strong energetic upgrades though. So we're definitely going to do a very powerful transmission with the master teachers on 5-5 for the full moon, the eclipse, and the 5-5 portal to facilitate those big energetic and strong upgrades. Now, next thing on the agenda, next thing on the list is people become very challenging under this energy. So, stay in your own lane. I just had just for a little quick personal example, I started to do YouTube shorts, about a month ago, and I did something about mediumship, and some clown just left a comment and just something like your narcissism, makes you believe all this crap or something like that. And flashback to a year or two ago, I probably would have answered that person back, and let them have it. I just looked at it, I laughed, I deleted the comment, said goodbye. So anyway, that's what we need to do when people get difficult with us. just let them go. If they're not reachable, if they're not teachable, then they're a drain on our energy. But that said, there may be people very near and dear to you that are getting difficult. So we need to be in our heart and be in compassion. If people give us a hard time out there, like this, I know I'm saying this clown, and that's not a very nice thing to say, but I wasn't angry about it. I wasn't sending him bad vibes or anything. I was like, all right, he doesn't get it, but I'm not going to engage with negative energy. I'm just going to let it go, basically. Um, so that's that. Where was I? Okay, people get okay. The whole fabric of the collective is going to receive a big jolt in May. Not that it hasn't received big jolts, but I think the second of this eclipse season, I think all that's going on and all that's going out there, and also the frequencies are just changing faster and building faster than they ever have. I think there's going to be a huge jolt in the collective. People are going to be confused. People are going to be frightened even more than they are now. Yes, I realize that's already happening. And we need to be grounded in the heart, grounded in the root, grounded in the earth star chakra, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. That's one of the exercises they recommended. And then the gateway to higher self, awakening superhuman ability. So that gateway to accessing our higher self becomes stronger, more accessible, especially those that are doing the work. Part of the work should be making a commitment to be present in your day-to-day life. Every time you think about it, stop thinking, become the observer. And if you have a negative reaction or emotion, don't try to stop your emotions. You're not going to have a whole lot of luck doing that. You'll just get more frustrated. But you have the option to either feed those emotions or step back and observe them in action. Every time you step back and observe them in action, to quote the great Dr. Joe Dispenza, that's a victory, and those victories add up. So that's the idea with that. So gateway to higher self, awakening your superhuman abilities. We all have superhuman abilities that aren't superhuman at all. They're regular human abilities. They're just dormant because most humans are not evolved enough. But in any point in history, there's somebody that had those abilities to awaken. Think Jesus walked on water, brought the Lazarus back from the dead, turn water into wine. And he would say, if you know the Bible and know how to read between the lines, because it's been translated like 5 times, until it got to English. He'll say, I'm the son of God. I'm not God. You're the son of God also. What I can do, you can do. So, that's part of that. So that's part of the gateway to the higher self. They're saying that people that are less connected or don't have faith or don't have a spiritual practice, that aren't doing the work, some of them may literally go crazy. So, I think more people are going to have nervous breakdowns. Again, that's been going on for years. It's been getting more and more. I feel like this is kind of like even March and April to some degree. I think this is really the beginning, the heart of the big transition of consciousness. So we want to do things like yoga. We want to do our breathing or qigong or things that are really going to help to build our nervous system, to build our energetic pathways, our meridians, our different bodies, our different energy fields. That's how we're going to stay sane when there's so much pressure in the world around us. There's so much negative news. There's so much coming at us. Not to mention the frequencies keep changing, which gives us ascension type symptoms. I'm going to have a video on that come out Thursday on how to deal with ascension symptoms, by the way. So we need to really stay in our heart and stay in our power. Again, this is for empowerment. None of this is fear-based. None of this is doom and gloom or negative. It's just awareness. We're spiritual warriors. We can't have our heads in the sand and ignore what's going on. But then we can't go into victim fear mentality, because then they won, basically. But if we stay in spiritual warriorship, we recognize that everything in our outer world is a reflection of our inner world, and then we can change the inner world in order to start to affect changes in the outer world. That's the true essence of spiritual warriorship, in my definition, in my opinion. So people let's connect. Systems failures. So expect more systems to fail. They're already coming down. War increases. Unfortunately, they've shown me a lot of soldiers. I'm seeing this the last week or so, a lot of flexing of muscles, things going on in the China Sea, things going on in Korea, things going on in, where was it, Yemen, or in the Middle East, not to mention, the war that gets all the attention. So, we may really want to start to think about stocking up on things. We were talking about this for last fall and winter, and I stocked up, and better safe than sorry. I think I was a lot more moderate than a lot of the astrologers that I was talking to that were really like up in arms about. And my take was, there's going to be shortages. I think we'll be okay, but stock up anyway, just in case I'm wrong about that. So I think we're, especially as we get into the summer months, I think we may be facing with more shortages. Just, again, keep that in mind. Better to stay empowered. I did a video a few weeks ago on how to stay in our power, and part of it is if you can survive on your own, then you're more empowered. It's nothing wrong with society, nothing wrong with technology. It's a beautiful thing, actually. It can be used or misused, but to have a plan B and to be able to survive if all the systems crash, that's what's required. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think there's going to be some systems failures. That can be governments, financial, MSN's already going down. Lots of UFO activity, so I think that's going to continue to increase. Government disclosures, all that kind of stuff. Although some of it may be a plan to get us afraid of possible UFO invasion. The Arcturians, the Palladians, the Lyrans, the Syrians, none of those advanced civilizations that are helping us through our transition into higher consciousness would harm us. They're here to help us. They're here to assist us in our collective awakening right now. Just as when those societies underwent their awakening, beings from other worlds helped them also, because we're all part of a network, a great web of life that extends not just in the terrestrial, but also in the extraterrestrial, as well as the interdimensional. So lots of that. Yeah, there's more. So I got the spirit image when I went last night when I was channeling, and they showed me a horse, but with its mouth taped shut. They showed me a bunch of horses with their mouths taped shut. And we may see like somebody in a very high position start to speak on something, from the horse's mouth. That's the metaphor that I thought, straight from the horse's mouth. They get silenced very quickly. So, we may see an uptick of censorship and people trying to be silent. There's a lot that's coming out. It only trickles into the mainstream news, but it does trickle, and you get a few clues of it. And every now and then I see something like, oh, that's cool, that they're at least talking about this. And there's a lot of that. I was also seeing a lot of fire, so there may be things to watch out for. I know a wild styles on, so people down under may need to keep an eye, because I know you're in your autumn season now, which is probably your fire season. But even here in the U.S., they're also showing me floods, massive floods. Now, I'm also a meteorologist. There's been, I mean, this is part psychic, but part just common sense. The Midwest, the upper Midwest has had record snowfall. That snow has to melt. When snow melts, it goes into the rivers. Watch out in the Mississippi, places like from St. Louis down to New Orleans. Keep an eye on that Mississippi. That hopefully it'll be okay, and there could be other flood. I mean, the climate's a mess. There's too much tampering with the natural flows of weather. Not to mention any natural components of climate change. Again, be prepared. That's the world that we live in. So floods, fires, and all that stuff are much more common. Have a plan. That's usually that. So what else? Economy fluctuation. So as far as money goes, all they were showing me is like lots of ups and downs, but they've shown me shifts in shifting values of world currency. So we may see some currencies go way up or way down. So those of you that have investment or interest in foreign markets or precious metals or stuff like that, yeah, the digital currencies, those are the things of the future. So, be savvy about that. For those of you that are into the crypto and stuff like that. I don't know enough about it, but I think there's going to be a lot of these wild fluctuations up and down during the month of May. Increase in military activity, we kind of covered that already. More news of bullying and violence. So I think that increases. I mean, it's like every week there's another shooting, unfortunately. But I think we see a lot about like police bullying people, all that kind of stuff, unfortunately. So I even wrote down MSN collapse, cover up allegations. That came in really strongly. I don't know if that's the cover up is around the firing of Tucker Carlson. I think somebody in CNN also got canned too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is orchestrated, but I can't see Fox underestimating the support and the power that man has. I want to say I'm personally not too warm on right wing stuff. I'm not on left wing either, to be quite honest. But so he's not necessarily my cup of tea. But I really like to watch him once in a while because he really like I don't know. I mean, he's so out there in some things, but he really kind of stirred the pot a lot and really got people thinking. So I like part of it. I know some of you probably can't stand him or are glad that he's gone. But whatever your personal opinions are on the man, he's very powerful, and there's going to be some repercussion for that. I've been talking about for probably close to a year about the collapse of MSN and other things. I think we're seeing that. In fact, a lot of the things I've just asking, could I wanted to go to Arthur Findlay College to study mediumship. So I was asking somebody, you still need your vaccines for that? They were saying no. And basically, when even before all this rolled out, and those of you that have been following me for a while know this, that I predict I was only 1 month off when the vaccines would be rolled out. I said January, and it was December 2020, I believe, rather than January 2021. I told them exactly what's going to happen, and there would be mandates and there would be travel restrictions, but that it was only going to last about 2 years, 3 years at the most. And most people were arguing that, saying it's going to be longer than that. But flash forward, I don't think it's even been 2 years, or maybe it has. So and it's gone. The travel restrictions are gone as far as I know. So for those of us that chose not to get our vaccines, we're fine. For those of you that chose to get it, I mean, you were fine anyway. But as I always say, that is a personal choice. If the like any other medication, if in your mind, if the potential benefits outweigh the potential risks, then by all means do it. That's my take. But do your research. Know what you're getting into. That's the only thing with that. Not, I mean, it's a moot point now until the next pandemic, anyways, which may be maybe not that far away. So keep an eye on possible shortages. I covered that already. Frequencies favor throat chakra activity. So I'm starting to get more into the exercises now and things that we can do. And I'm sorry that I'm missing your comments. Oh, okay, thanks. That's the person in CNN that got fired. Thank you. Which is deep state. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. Yeah, keeping it interesting with world events. Yeah, 3 years for us. So that's still within my ballpark. And what is Susan saying? Desocializing is so important. I got my kid from the. But yeah, very important. Community is hugely important. Yes. Find your tribe. If that hasn't happened already, find your tribe. And this is a good place to start. We are community here, right? Set this channel for that reason, to create conscious community or to be part of it. And there's a lot of other good YouTube channels out there that are doing the same thing. So they say favors the throat chakra. So do the throat chakra work. That's how we develop our ability to channel. All that comes through the communication and through opening that. Now, also the heart chakra, we might as well work with the whole middle triangle. That's the solar plexus, heart, and the throat chakra. but Spirit was saying that, and then they were also saying more telepathy, communication with guides open up. So throat chakra work will help with that also. So that's a good thing to do. So I just have a couple of exercises to talk about. Then I wanted to do a couple of divination cards too, because Spirit may give us more messages through my cards. So when they're saying do breath work where you're really expanding the lungs, for some reason, expansion of the lungs, and they're saying, well, part of that is that because of all the negative programming and the suppression of the awakening and the human powers, we feel that in our chest, we feel a constriction in our chest. So if we do daily, like long, deep breathing or breath of fire from Kundalini yoga, that's when you're pumping the belly. But really filling the lungs and feeling your whole aura expand as your lungs expand. And then as you exhale, contract and feeling your aura come in. So you're kind of creating this pumping action that moves stagnant energy through your energy fields and can help to heal disease, because the energetic origins of disease is stagnation, usually anyways. So big, do your deep, long, deep breathing. Really, not to a point of discomfort or passing out or anything like that, but long deep inhales, long deep exhales, and to do that and to do that, work with the Earth Star chakra, and that is one of the 5 or 6, depending on who you listen to, transpersonal chakras. So we have 7 major chakras, then we have 4 more above, and then the Earth Star chakra basically forms a lower pointed triangle from our 2 foot chakras at the center of the soles of our feet to about a foot beneath the ground. Now, the interesting thing is they showed me this as a diamond, and I looked through a lot of different, people's takes on it. Nobody talked about a diamond, but that's how they showed it to me. But we'll work with that. Now, on Spirit Mind Family, that's our inner community here from the Medium channel. We did a whole month, Earth Month, and it became more of like a lot of it became about the crystalline Earth grid, because our root chakra is very good in connecting with our physical Earth, which is very important. We came from the Earth, we're part of the Earth. She's alive, she's breathing, she's our mother, basically, and the Earth herself is a child of the cosmos. That's very important. But when we work the Earth Star chakra, we start to ground into the crystalline Earth. That's the 5-dimensional or a higher frequency of the physical Earth. When you're able to ground into that, you start to clear your karma. You may have to learn a few lessons and do the shadow work and purge along the way, but that's going to help to get you out of that cause and effect physical universe and to get you more aligned with spirit, more aligned with your higher self, your 5-dimensional self and higher. So Spirit, I'll leave information about how to join that. It's my Patreon group. It is by donation. It's only $5 a month, and we actually do extra channeling there. I mean, you get literally hundreds of dollars worth of services for that money, and we've done meditations and a lot of stuff in how to develop the Earth Star chakra and what that is. So again, I'll leave information on the pinned comments when this becomes a video if anybody's interested in checking that out. And then they're saying to work more with divination card, anything that's going to open up our intuition. You have psychic development exercises, working with tarot or other divination cards. They were saying to do this to get your daily messages. You can watch my daily messages. I do it at 8 a.m. every morning except Sundays, and then Saturdays at 9 a.m. But work with it yourself. And then they were saying develop your psychic gifts, healing abilities, and all that. So these are things to work on this month. And as always, get out into nature and feel the flow. That's like an every month exercise. The flow is the prana and the chi. When we start to get present, we start to feel energy. When we start to develop that, we start to learn how to influence the flows with our mind. So people say to go with the flow and absolutely go with the flow, but it's not enough to go with the flow, not in this evolving into 5-dimensional energy. We need to be influencers of the flow, just as the flow influences us. We need to be interactive with it. So nature is a great way to start to feel it. The trees will assist you in starting to feel that energy go through your body. It happens when you're present, when you're grounded, and when you're open. And if you do Reiki or Tai Chi or Qigong or yoga, you're already working with the flow. You're already working with this. When you're really in the flow, you're present, you're not frustrated, you're not angry, you're in your vibration of love, you're in your vibration of gratitude, and things just kind of fall into place. So when you're in the vibrational flow, things work more in your life. There's less restriction. Now, granted, there's a lot of outside resistance, so you'll still come across that, but if you're in the flow and going with the flow, you flow through that much more easily. So and also, like every other month, do your heart brain coherence work or an equivalent practice. Heart brain coherence is just a modern practice that was developed, I think, by Heart Math Institute, Greg Braden, and people like that. But it's all based on ancient teaching, all based on yoga. And not just yoga, like Buddhism, early Christianity, Judaism, all that. Like what did all the masters say? Be in the heart, be in compassion, be in love. So this is actually a practice built around that I have plenty of videos on this channel. And you can go to Heart Math Institute. You can look up Joe Dispenza. You can look up Greg Braden. I mean, Bruce Lipton may have some and other teachers. But the idea is if you can cultivate high-end gratitude, appreciation, and love in your heart in the meditative state, then your heart becomes vibrationally coherent, because hearts want to love and hearts are intelligent. Hearts think, but they don't think in the intellect like the brain. They think more on a spiritual level. And the heart and the brain are really connected. There are synapses and cells unique to these two, but the heart's stronger. So when the heart becomes vibrationally coherent, in other words, you're not allowing yourself to feel the fear and the dread of the society or let people guilt you or shame you, but rather you're in compassion, you're in joy, you're in love, and you're holding this for several minutes at a time, several times a day. The brain becomes coherent and the brainwave patterns become coherent. Then we become coherent with spirit. And when that happens, the frequencies move through us much more easily. And then the dormant DNA starts to awaken, because we need a certain energetic threshold for our dormant DNA to start to activate. And then we start to reclaim our superhuman abilities, just like the way I cured incurable autoimmunity I had since I was born. Basically, the doctors told me I would need to be on steroids my whole life. I haven't needed steroids for 5 years, but and that's because I did this work. So when I teach things, yes, I read, I research, I quote I cite other teachers, but what I teach is things that I've experienced, things that I've done, and things that I know that work. And that's why I want to share that with you guys. So there's that. And I think I covered that. So let's do a couple of divination cards. So here's something from Mr. Floyd. We did an interview with him recently. A wonderful, wonderful interview that's on the channel, by the way. Oh, and Wayne Dyer, sure. Wayne Dyer would totally be on board with this. Absolutely. And well, I like that too, but this is the one I was looking at. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. Yes, you are, and yes, I am also. So this deck is the Angel Therapy cards by Doreen Virtue. I still love her work, even if her take on spirituality, we'll just say shifted a little bit. But I still feel like these cards are work with me really well. And this is the one. No, this is the one they want me to pull. Mediumship. Imagine that. And we're on the Medium channel. Wow, what a coincidence. And there's about I think 56 cards here or something. You have the natural ability to connect with the departed loved one. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is to open up to spirit communication. How do you do that? Set the intention, get present, open your heart, ask them to come through, trust what you get, write it down, trust what you get. Maybe light a candle and every night just spend a few minutes with your departed loved ones, and they'll come through. You may feel them, you may sense them, you may smell them, psychic smelling. You may get images, you may remember things out of the blue. You may get what I say, memories or symbols, images. They communicate in a lot of different ways. Yeah, so that's mediumship. That's what that looks like. We'll tilt it down so you don't get a ring light reflection on that. And you may get a little personal message just by what you're drawn to in this image. Like I'm drawn to the wings. So I think part of that is doing like angelic type of mediumship also. Yeah. And Laura's saying that that's been showing up a lot for her 3 times now. So, and this one's called the Divine Abundance deck that I've been loving this deck. It seems to always give me the right messages. So, I'm actually I already charged and cut them. I just need to pull the card. I need to clear my mind. I have a little saying that when you're thinking, you're not connecting. When you're connecting, you're not thinking. So I want to stop thinking so I can connect. There we go. I found my card. And it's this one. Signs. So look for the signs, right? Spirit is always pointing us in the direction of truth. If we can only learn to read the signs, the synchronicities. And the little saying here is instincts are the message from the inner divine. So those signs are really coming through from spirit. So I have, and very good, Mr. Floyd. Thank you. And hi, MDR. Welcome. Sneak message. Yeah. So let me just kind of recap for a second. Well, the main thing is I wanted to make sure and invite all you guys to our mediumship messages tomorrow at 7 in celebration of Beltane. It'll be right here on the Medium channel, 7 p.m. And for about an hour, I'm just going to get messages and put them out there to the group, and hopefully a lot of you will get messages from doing that. So that's happening. That's basically it. I mean, there's definitely other things that I could speak on, or things that I'm doing that's going on with me that I can mention. Oh, the only thing, yes, this Thursday, so in a few days, I have a video coming out on how to deal with ascension type symptoms, how to recognize them, how to clear them, basically. So that's going to be next. And the one that came out last Thursday, I don't even remember what it was. I've had a long day. It was a good video. If somebody remembers and that, I think I mentioned something about the aging process, and you're feeling like I'm getting younger too. I mean, if you look closely at me, I still have the sun damage, and it looks more like a reptile neck than the turkey neck. But then again, I'm 64 years old also, so I'm entitled to have that. But yeah, doing the heart brain coherence work actually can slow down the aging process by slowing down one of very two important cellular functions that cause aging, that being the degradation of the telomeres of the chromosome. Yeah, doing this practice increases telomerase in the body, and it slows that down, and people have been known to reverse the aging. All right, so what video did we just release Thursday? All right, it was a good one. It's on the channel. I'll let you guys go, and thank you so much for being here. And tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time, we do our tarot time. You guys probably missed me last Sunday when I was doing the event. Is there a comment I need to hide? Okay, sorry about that. And thank you. I'll leave Doreen. Human ability. Yes, thank you. Yes. I appreciate that, Sue, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being part of this community. So 11 a.m. tarot times, we do a prediction for the week through the tarot, and then at 7 o'clock, we do the mediumship reading. So busy spiritual day tomorrow, gearing up for this very transformative month of May. So put on your seatbelts, stay in your lane, stay in your heart, stay in your power, and ride these waves of ascension, and we're all going to do just fine. We're going to be better than ever. Okay, love you all. Bye.